You're 29 years old. You have a decent job making around $85,000 a year. Your paycheck hits every other Friday. You drive a nice SUV. Your apartment looks amazing. You take a vacation every summer. On Instagram, your life looks perfect. Then one Tuesday morning, your company announces layoffs. By Friday afternoon, your job is gone. You open your banking app. Checking account, $418. Savings account, $0. Credit card debt, $17,600. Car loan. Student loans. Rent due next week. Suddenly, the lifestyle that looked successful yesterday becomes a financial nightmare overnight. Now here's the scary part. This isn't some dramatic movie scene. It's happening to thousands of Americans every single year. The biggest financial mistake most people make isn't buying one expensive car, or choosing the wrong stock, or even graduating with student loans. It's spending years making money, without ever learning how money actually works. Schools teach algebra. They teach chemistry. They teach history. But somehow, almost nobody graduates knowing how to build wealth, invest for retirement, lower taxes legally, or create financial security. So people spend their 20s doing what everyone else does. Working harder. Making more money. Yet somehow feeling just as broke. Because income alone doesn't create wealth. Good financial decisions do. That's exactly what today's video is about. Not complicated Wall Street strategies. Not a get-rich-quick schemes. Just 7 timeless investing and budgeting rules that can completely change your financial future if you learn them before turning 30. And even if you're already past 30. Don't worry. The second best time to fix your finances is today. I'm Della, and on this channel, we simplify investing, personal finance, and wealth building so you can make smarter financial decisions without needing a finance degree. If that sounds useful, subscribe, and let's dive in. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why some people making $60,000 a year quietly become millionaires, while others earning over $200,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. And trust me, the difference has almost nothing to do with intelligence. It comes down to a handful of financial habits that anyone can learn. Let's start with the first rule, the one that quietly determines whether every dollar you earn becomes a building block for wealth, or disappears before the next paycheck arrives. Rule number 1, pay your future before you pay your lifestyle. Have you ever noticed what happens on payday? For about 5 minutes, you feel rich. Your direct deposit arrives. Your account balance looks healthy. Then, almost automatically, the money starts disappearing. Rent gets paid. Your car payment clears. Insurance premiums come out. Streaming subscriptions renew. A couple of Amazon purchases finally ship. You grab dinner with friends. Maybe you order takeout because it's been a long week. A few days later, you check your balance again and think, where did all my money go? Here's the truth. Most people don't have a spending problem. They have a priority problem. They treat saving and investing like leftover money. If there's anything left at the end of the month, I'll invest it. But life almost never leaves leftovers. There's always another birthday gift, another wedding invitation, another weekend trip, another phone upgrade, another sale that's too good to miss. Money naturally flows toward whatever gets paid first. Successful investors understand one simple principle. Your future should get paid before your present lifestyle does. Think of every paycheck like a pizza. Most people hand out slices to everyone else first. The landlord gets a slice. The bank gets a slice. The utility company gets a slice. Restaurants get a slice. Online shopping gets a slice. Entertainment gets a slice. By the time they remember themselves, only a few crumbs remain. Wealth builders flip that order completely. The moment income arrives, they take a portion off the top and move it somewhere their future self can use, not after paying every bill, but before everyday spending has a chance to claim it. This isn't about being cheap. It's about creating a system that doesn't rely on motivation. Because motivation fades. Automation doesn't. Imagine 2 coworkers. Both earn $75,000 a year. Both receive the exact same paycheck. The first person waits until the end of the month to invest whatever is left. Most months, nothing is left. The second person has 15% of every paycheck automatically sent into retirement and investment accounts before it even feels spendable. 5 years later, their lifestyles look almost identical. 10 years later, the gap starts becoming noticeable. 20 years later, one person wonders why retirement feels impossible. The other has a portfolio quietly working around the clock. Not because they found a secret investment. Not because they predicted the market. Simply because they paid their future first. This is one reason employer retirement plans can be so powerful. When contributions are deducted directly from your paycheck, you never have to convince yourself to invest every month. The decision has already been made. You adapt your lifestyle around what's left instead of trying to save whatever survives. Behavioral economists even have a name for this. It's called paying yourself first. And it works because humans naturally adjust to the money they actually see in their checking account. If your paycheck hits at $3,500, you'll probably find ways to spend close to $3,500. If only $3,000 reaches your checking account because the rest was automatically invested, you'll eventually learn to live comfortably on $3,000. Your lifestyle adjusts surprisingly fast. The investment account keeps growing quietly in the background. No daily decisions. No constant willpower. Just consistency. That's how wealth is usually built, not through one massive investment, but through hundreds of small decisions that happen automatically over many years. Because the goal isn't to become an expert stock picker. The goal is to build habits that make investing happen whether you're excited, busy, stressed, or on vacation. And once you've mastered paying yourself first, there's another challenge waiting. Even people who save consistently can sabotage their finances with one silent habit that steals more wealth than almost any market crash ever could. Rule number 2, stop chasing a rich lifestyle. Start building a rich balance sheet. Let's play a quick guessing game. One person drives a brand new luxury SUV with a $900 monthly payment. The other drives a reliable 5-year-old sedan that's completely paid off. Who do you think is wealthier? Most people immediately picture the luxury SUV owner. But appearances can be incredibly expensive. A car tells you what someone bought. It doesn't tell you what they own. That's one of the biggest financial illusions in America. We're surrounded by visible spending, but invisible wealth. You can easily see someone's designer clothes. You can see the expensive watch, the luxury apartment, the first-class vacation photos, the newest iPhone. What you can't see is whether they have 6 months of emergency savings, a growing retirement portfolio, a taxable investment account, no high-interest debt, financial freedom. Real wealth is mostly invisible. Think about it this way. Imagine 2 neighbors. Ryan earns $180,000 a year. Every raise turns into a bigger house, newer car, and more expensive lifestyle. His income keeps growing. So do his monthly bills. Next door is Emily. She earns just under $95,000. She still enjoys life. She travels. She eats out. She buys things she genuinely values. But every time her income increases, she invests most of the difference instead of spending it. Fast forward 15 years. Ryan has impressive possessions. Emily has options. She can leave a toxic job, take a sabbatical, help her parents, start a business, retire years earlier. That's because financial freedom isn't measured by what you can buy. It's measured by how long you could live if your paycheck stopped tomorrow. This is why wealthy people often focus on building their balance sheet, not their image. A balance sheet is simply a snapshot of what you own versus what you owe. Your assets include things that increase your financial value over time. Your liabilities are obligations that require future payments. The goal isn't to own the fanciest stuff. The goal is to gradually make your assets grow faster than your liabilities. Every dollar can do one of 2 jobs. It can buy today's lifestyle, or tomorrow's freedom. That doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money. Absolutely not. Spend generously on what truly improves your life. Cut ruthlessly on things you're buying only to impress strangers. Because the people you're trying to impress are usually too busy trying to impress someone else. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" ask something much more powerful. What is this purchase costing my future? A $300 impulse purchase isn't just $300. It's the years of future growth that money could have earned if it had stayed invested. Once you begin thinking this way, spending becomes much more intentional. And that's where the next rule becomes incredibly important. Rule number 3, your greatest investing advantage isn't picking stocks. It's time. Imagine you're standing at the starting line of a marathon. One runner gets to start at mile 0. The other gets dropped off at mile 10 before the race even begins. Who has the advantage? Investing works the same way. Time gives early investors an enormous head start. Most people think becoming wealthy requires finding the next Apple. the next Nvidia, or buying the perfect stock at exactly the right moment. Reality is much less exciting and much more reliable. The biggest driver of long-term wealth isn't extraordinary returns. It's allowing ordinary returns to compound for extraordinary lengths of time. Let's simplify that. Imagine planting an oak tree. The first few years, it barely seems to grow. Then something interesting happens. Its growth begins accelerating. The older it gets, the faster it expands. Money behaves almost the same way. During your first years of investing, progress can feel painfully slow. You invest month after month, the account grows. But it doesn't feel life-changing. Many people get discouraged right here. They assume investing isn't working. In reality, they're standing at the slowest part of the curve. Then compounding quietly starts doing something incredible. Your investments begin earning returns. Those returns start generating their own returns. Then those returns begin producing even more returns. Eventually, your money starts contributing more than you do. That's when investing shifts from feeling like hard work to feeling like momentum. This is why waiting for the perfect time is so expensive. People say, I'll invest after I pay everything off. I'll start once I get promoted. Maybe next year. But the calendar doesn't pause while you're waiting. Every year delayed is one less year your investments have to compound. Even small contributions made consistently can outperform large contributions started much later. Consistency beats intensity. Almost every time. And here's another mistake people make. They obsess over timing the market. They wait for the perfect dip, the perfect recession, the perfect headline. The problem? Nobody consistently knows when those moments will arrive. Even professional fund managers struggle to predict short-term market movements. Instead of trying to predict tomorrow's prices, successful investors focus on owning productive businesses for decades. They understand something simple. Time in the market has historically been far more valuable than trying to perfectly time the market. The market will rise. It will fall. There will be recessions, bear markets, corrections, election cycles, economic fears. Those are normal chapters, not the entire story. Patient investors don't see volatility as proof that investing is broken. They see it as the admission price for long-term growth, because every decade has looked uncertain while people were living through it. Only in hindsight does the trend appear obvious. But even great investing habits won't save you if your monthly budget has a hidden leak. And that's where rule number 4 changes everything. Rule number 4, budget for the life you actually live, not the one you wish you had. Mention the word budget. And many people imagine spreadsheets, restrictions, and saying no to everything fun. That's why so many budgets fail. They're built around fantasy, not reality. Think about what usually happens on January 1st. Someone creates the perfect budget. No eating out, no coffee, no entertainment, no shopping, no vacations. Every dollar is perfectly planned. It feels amazing. For about 8 days. Then real life shows up. A friend's birthday. A concert. Car repairs. A family dinner. A weekend road trip. Suddenly the budget is broken. So they quit altogether. Here's the problem. A budget shouldn't describe your ideal life. It should describe your actual behavior. If you genuinely enjoy grabbing coffee every Friday, include it. If date nights matter to you, plan for them. If you love traveling, save for travel intentionally instead of pretending it won't happen. A realistic budget is infinitely better than a perfect budget you abandon after 2 weeks. Think of your budget like GPS. Its purpose isn't to judge where you've been. Its purpose is to help you reach where you're trying to go. And here's a practical habit that can completely change the way you spend. Before buying anything that's not essential, pause for 24 hours. Not because you can't afford it, because you want to separate excitement from intention. You'll be amazed how many purchases lose their appeal after one day. Another useful habit is giving every dollar a job before the month begins. Instead of wondering where your money disappeared, you decide where it's supposed to go. Housing, transportation, food, insurance, investments, emergency savings, fun money, giving. Every category has a purpose. That doesn't mean every month goes perfectly. Life is unpredictable. Budgets aren't meant to be prisons. They're meant to be flexible roadmaps. Adjust them, review them, improve them. Because budgeting isn't about controlling every penny. It's about making sure your money reflects your priorities instead of your impulses. Once your budget starts working for you instead of against you, you'll discover that building wealth isn't really about earning more. It's about consistently making smarter decisions with every dollar that passes through your hands. And that's exactly where the next rule begins, because even the smartest budget can collapse if one unexpected emergency forces you into debt. Rule number 6, make your money work harder than you do. Think about this for a second. There are only so many hours you can work. 40 hours. 50 hours. Maybe 60. But your money? It never needs a lunch break. It never sleeps. It can keep working 24 hours a day, even while you're on vacation. That's the difference between earning money and owning assets that generate money. Many people believe they'll build wealth simply by working harder. The problem is, your paycheck stops when you stop working. Investments don't. That's why every dollar you save should eventually have a job. Some dollars build your emergency fund. Some pay down high-interest debt. The rest should be invested so they can produce future income and long-term growth. For most Americans, that doesn't mean trying to pick the next hot stock. It usually means consistently investing in low-cost, diversified index funds through accounts like a 401k, Roth IRA, or taxable brokerage account, depending on your situation. Keep investing during good markets. Keep investing during bad markets. Ignore the daily headlines. Let time do the heavy lifting. Remember, employees work for money. Investors let money work for them. The earlier you make that shift, the less you'll have to rely on working forever. Rule number 7, financial freedom is built by habits, not luck. Everyone wants to become wealthy. Very few people want the habits that create wealth. The truth is, there isn't one magical investment, one perfect budget, or one secret strategy. Financial success is usually the result of doing small things consistently for years. Saving before spending. Living below your means. Avoiding unnecessary debt. Investing every month. Increasing your investments whenever your income grows. Reviewing your finances regularly instead of avoiding them. None of these habits are exciting. But together, they're incredibly powerful. Think of your finances like planting a garden. You don't plant seeds today and expect fruit tomorrow. You water them, protect them, stay patient, and eventually, the results become impossible to ignore. The same is true with money. The people who seem lucky are often the ones who spent years making smart decisions when nobody was watching. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Focus on becoming just a little smarter with money every month. Because wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about having choices. The choice to retire comfortably. The choice to leave a stressful job. The choice to help your family. The choice to sleep peacefully knowing one unexpected bill won't ruin your future. And that's the real goal. Not just having more money, but having more freedom. Because in the end, money is simply a tool. Use it wisely, and it can buy something far more valuable than luxury. Peace of mind. Final conclusion. Let's zoom out for a moment. None of these 7 rules are complicated. In fact, you've probably heard pieces of them before. Pay yourself first. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Start investing early. Follow a realistic budget. Build an emergency fund. Let your money work for you. Stay consistent. Simple? Absolutely. Easy? Not always. Because the biggest challenge in personal finance isn't understanding what to do. It's having the discipline to keep doing it when nobody is watching. Here's something worth remembering. 10 years from now, you probably won't remember the random gadgets you bought. You won't remember most impulse purchases. You won't remember that expensive dinner you barely enjoyed. But you will remember the feeling of opening your investment account and realizing your money has been quietly growing while you were living your life. You'll remember paying cash instead of reaching for a credit card. You'll remember sleeping peacefully because one unexpected expense no longer feels like a financial disaster. You'll remember having choices. The choice to switch careers. The choice to spend more time with your family. The choice to retire on your terms instead of someone else's. That's what financial freedom really is. It's not driving the most expensive car. It's not showing off luxury brands. It's not trying to impress strangers on social media. True wealth is invisible. It's the confidence that comes from knowing your future isn't controlled by your next paycheck. The reality is that nobody is coming to rescue your finances. Not your employer. Not the government. Not the lottery. Your future will largely be shaped by the financial decisions you make today, tomorrow, and every payday after that. The good news? You don't have to be a Wall Street expert. You don't need to predict the next stock market boom. You don't need a six-figure salary to begin building wealth. You simply need a system and the patience to stick with it. Remember, every millionaire investor started with a first contribution. Every large portfolio began with a small deposit. Every financially independent person once stood exactly where many people are today, wondering if these little habits could really make a difference. They do. Because wealth isn't built in one spectacular moment. It's built through thousands of ordinary decisions repeated over decades. So after this video ends, don't try to change your entire financial life overnight. Instead, pick one rule. Just one. Maybe automate your investments. Maybe finally create an emergency fund. Maybe cancel subscriptions you don't use. Maybe increase your 401k contribution by just 1%. Small actions create momentum. Momentum creates habits. Habits create wealth. And wealth creates freedom. If this video helped you see money a little differently, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this is the kind of financial education more people should see. Subscribe and join our growing community of people who want to build real wealth, not just look wealthy. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 rules do you think will have the biggest impact on your financial future? And what's the very first step you're going to take this week? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm Della, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep investing, and keep building the future your future self will thank you for.